News.
Moving on, the countrywide doctors' strike is looming after the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union issued a 30-day strike notice to begin from December 28, 2022. The move, according to the medics, follows failure by the government to honor the July 2017 collective bargaining agreement. The strike notice was issued at a time when clinicians under the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers called for the appointment of a national joint task force to look into the health sector 10 years after devolution. Willie Lusige with the details.
Solidarity forever.
Doctors across the country have warned that they will go on strike from December 28, 2022 after they issued a that-day strike notice on November 28th as a result of the government's failure to honor a July 2017 collective bargain agreement. The Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union KMPDU has vowed to go ahead with the strike if the government does not act. Responding to this, the Ministry of Labour says it has received the industrial action notice by KMPDU and has urged the doctors to rethink the decision to give room for negotiations. At the same time, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers is now calling on President William Ruto to constitute a national joint task force on health to review the health sector after being under devolution for the last 10 years. The union wants the task force to make recommendations.
We have seen the issues of the CBC, where the president was able to gazette a task force, and which has done very well. And what also Kenyans are wondering, for the past 10 years, we have had a myriad of challenges in the health sector, yet there doesn't seem to be attention.
We propose that the president constitute a national joint task force on health that will undertake the evaluation of the last decades since the devolution of health, with a view to recommend solutions that will put health back on progressive trajectory.
Clinicians are complaining that the health sector has continued to suffer from a myriad of challenges, including lack of drugs and enough manpower.
As we stand here today, if you wanted an admission in some of our level 6, like Kenyatta University Hospital, you are going to be asked to deposit 200,000 for you to be admitted. Yet it's a government hospital. The same happens with KNH.
These challenges includes chronic delay in payment of salaries, delayed promotion and delayed redesignations, non-remittance of third-party deduction, including NHF.
The health workers are also calling on the government to establish the Health Service Commission. The commission, they say, will address matters to do with health in a devolved space.
But then for you to be able to actualize that, you must be able to talk with Kenyans, to talk between the two levels of government, and the only institution that can be able to do that is a task force.
Clinicians also want the national government and county governments to recruit more than 20,000 new health workers as the current health workforce is overwhelmed.
There is also emerging issues of mental health, which is killing most of the healthcare workers. These are emerged through this drug and substance abuse, through exhaustion and burnouts, now that we have few healthcare workers.
The union is greatly aggrieved by the deliberate and intentional delay by the Public Service Commission and the Ministry of Public Service to ratify the scheme of services for clinical officers and other schemes in the public sector.
So we are simply here today to request for a national joint task force on health so that it can be able to evaluate the last 10 years. It can look at the promises, some of the promises in the plan of this government.
Willie Lusige, KTN News, Nairobi.